Gateway. But the stuff that we have is for restoring right away. Just so you know.
Ready?
It's not private. That's you going after them.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Regular meeting of Washington, Missouri City Council, Monday, November 6, 2023, 7:05 p.m. Bear, Briggs,
Here.
Coulter, Hydrich,
Aye.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Patke,
Here.
Reed,
Here.
Wessels. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will all the council members answer if they have or have not read the minutes of the council meeting dated October 16, 2023? Briggs?
Yes.
Hydrich?
Aye.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Wessels?
Aye.
Okay, need a motion for approval, guys.
So moved?
Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Briggs. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approval is approved.
Approval and adjustment of agenda, including consent agenda. You have the final payment requests for pool management, maintenance, and lifeguards. Final payment requests for skate park features. A liquor license application for Serendipity Slush Company. And we need a table 7I.
Very good.
Okay.
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Second.
Any discussion, guys? Okay, motion by Patke, second by Holtmeyer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The consent agenda is approved.
Priority items, mayor's presentations, appointments and reappointments, proclamation, America in Bloom.
Okay. Welcome, you guys. Welcome, everybody. Trying to let guys, before I read the proclamation, just the significance of this award that we have received tells everyone that Washington cares. And just that little acknowledgement and recognition is a wonderful thing. Just the fact that our citizens care enough to maintain their trees, to maintain their yards, and to help each other out. That's the reason people come and visit us. That's why our companies move and stay here. And this is a part of that. So thank you, each and every one of you. So, okay, national recognition, Washington in Bloom. Whereas top honors for the prestigious 2023 America in Bloom program were announced at the annual symposium and awards celebration held in Spartanburg, South Carolina, September 28th to September 30th, 2023. And whereas the City of Washington, Missouri was the winner of the Urban Forestry Outstanding Achievement Award. Additionally, Washington was the winner of the 10,000 to 15,000 Population Category Award. And whereas the City of Washington, Missouri also received special recognition for its urban forestry efforts from the American in Bloom Advisors. And whereas all participating communities were evaluated on 7 criteria: community vitality, overall impression, environmental initiatives, heritage celebration, urban forestry, landscaped areas, and floral impact. America in Bloom is the only national awards program that sends specially trained advisors to personally visit participating communities. And whereas to date more than 330 communities from 43 states have participated in the program and more than 22 million people have been touched by it. Now, therefore, I, James D. Hagedorn, Mayor of the City of Washington, do hereby extend my sincere congratulations to the Washington in Bloom Committee for their national recognition from the America in Bloom Association organization for their excellent work in making our community more beautiful and vibrant. Thank you, everyone.
All for you.
Would any of you guys like to speak? Would anyone like to say something?
You want to come over here?
Please, Sally.
Come on, Sally. Just pull the mic down. There you go.
We certainly appreciate being here with this esteemed group. We have great respect for our city council and the work that you do on our behalf. We are grateful as well. It is an honor and a privilege to work with all of this wonderful group in this beautiful community. And there's a great deal of hard work done, and we couldn't be more pleased to serve in this beautiful Riverside community. So thank you one and all. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Okay.
Franklin County Transportation Committee appointments.
Council members, I hereby submit for your approval the following for appointment to the Franklin County Transportation Committee as attendee and alternate attendee in accordance with the bylaws of the Franklin County Transportation Committee. Charles Stankovic, City Engineer, is the attendee. Darren Lamb, City Administrator, is the alternate. Respectfully submitted. Do we need a vote?
Yes, please.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Briggs to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, guys.
Police Department appointments.
Okay, go ahead, Jim.
All right, I'll take this.
Yes, please.
Good evening, council. I have a few appointments and reappointments this evening for you. The first one will be appointments, and if I could have Shane join me. I have 2 appointments for reserve officers. Currently, we have 1 reserve officer, so I'm always looking to add to that pool of resources for us. So recently had a full-time officer turn his resignation. He's getting out of law enforcement. He did ask to stay on as a reserve. I agreed to that. So Officer Chadwick is the one that I'm asking to be appointed as a reserve officer. He's not here this evening. But also I have Shane Durbin here with me this evening. Shane has been looking to come work as a police officer with the city for quite some time. He just recently finished the police academy. He interviewed, went through all the testing process, background evaluation, did fine on everything. So we decided to bring him on as a reserve, pending your approval. So I think he'd be a good fit in that role.
Chief, what is the role of a reserve? What is that?
So that's a good question. We rely on them for special events, whether it be an event downtown, the fair, but they're also allowed to ride along with officers as much as they can. In Shane's case, it would be beneficial for him to, has no law enforcement experience whatsoever. He has a police academy, that's it. So it'd be beneficial for him to come and ride with a field training officer to gain that experience and knowledge under an FTO to further his career. So that's an opportunity for someone that has no experience also.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Further discussion? Need a motion.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Hydrich. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Welcome, Shane.
Thank you.
Welcome.
No, that's it.
Police Department reappointments.
Okay, Council, as I stated in my letter, I have 3 officers up for reappointment. Officer Garrett, Officer Worth, and Sergeant Grissom. All 3 are doing a fine job for me, so I recommend them for reappointment.
I'll make a motion. Second.
Motion by Hydrich, second by Briggs. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
They're reappointed. Thank you, Jim.
Citizens' comments?
Does anyone in the audience have any comments they would like to make? Okay. Go ahead, Terry.
Ordinances and resolutions. An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of an agreement for public safety and Serene Point, PSAP, support services by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and Franklin County, Missouri.
Patke.
Introduced by Patke.
As was stated in the earlier meeting, this is an agreement between all the PSAPs within Franklin County, and I think Jennifer was waiting on another city to go ahead and finalize their approval of this, and so we got it to you today.
Any further discussion? Okay. Go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of an agreement for public safety and Serene Point, PSAP, support services by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and Franklin County, Missouri. Wessels?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Reed?
Yes.
Hydrich?
Aye.
By your vote, ordinance passes. Thank you, Jennifer.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a supplemental agreement number 1 with CDG Engineers, Inc. for engineering services for the Front Street ADA Improvements Project.
Patke.
Introduced by Patke.
This is the supplemental agreement that Charles told you about earlier this is to cover the contract on Front Street.
Further discussion? Nope. Go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a supplemental agreement number 1 with CDG Engineers, Inc. for engineering services for the Front Street ADA Improvements Project. Wessels?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Reed?
Yes.
Hydrich?
Aye.
By your vote, ordinance 7B passes. C, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a supplemental agreement number 2 to engineering services contract with HDR Engineering, Inc. for engineering design services for the Jefferson Street roadway ADA compliance project.
Holtmeyer.
Introduced by Holtmeyer.
So this is the one we talked about for additional right-of-way help on Jefferson Street.
Further
Question.
comments, questions? Go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a supplemental agreement number 2 to engineering services contract with HDR Engineering, Inc. for engineering design services for the Jefferson Street roadway and ADA compliance project. Wessels?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Reed?
Yes.
Hydrich?
Aye.
By your vote, 7C passes. 7D, please.
An ordinance accepting the proposal from BFA Inc. for professional services for the Main Street reconstruction and ADA compliance project and amend the 2024 budget.
Patke.
Introduced by Patke.
Any questions for Main Street design?
This is, again, as Charles stated in the workshop, we had budgeted $75,000 for design services this year. We do not anticipate going over that. However, you are entering a contract that exceeds that amount, so that's the reason for the amendment.
I'd like to expect Mark Frankenberg to be on site, not just out the window. That's all.
We can throw that-
Buying lunch.
Go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance accepting the proposal from BFA Inc. for professional services for the Main Street reconstruction and ADA compliance project and amend the 2024 budget. Wessels?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Reed?
Yes.
Hydrich?
Aye.
By your vote, ordinance 7D passes. E, please.
An ordinance accepting the proposal from Roto Light for the purchase of an HP XL 3600 plotter and scanner.
Patke.
Introduced by Patke.
This will replace our existing large format plotter and scanner, and it came in quite a bit under budget.
No questions? Okay, Sherry, go ahead.
An ordinance accepting the proposal from Roto Light for the purchase of an HP XL 3600 plotter and scanner. Wessels?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Reed,
Yes.
Heidrich.
Aye.
By your vote, 7E passes. F, please.
An ordinance accepting the proposal from SCS Engineers for the semi-annual groundwater monitoring program at the Struckoff Sanitary Landfill.
Holtmeyer.
Introduced by Holtmeyer.
This is the usual annual contract that we have for groundwater monitoring at the landfill, and it came in about the same price as it did last year.
Nothing? Okay, go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance accepting the proposal from SCS Engineers for the semi-annual groundwater monitoring program at the Struckoff Sanitary Landfill. Wessels,
Aye.
Patke,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Reed,
Yes.
Heidrich.
Aye.
By your vote, 7F passes. G, please.
An ordinance accepting the proposal from Radiocom Co. for 3 L3 Harris XL 200M mobile radios and amend the 2024 budget.
Patke?
Introduced by Patke.
Good evening, council. In your packet is a letter stating the request for buying some additional radios for the fire department.
Further questions? Go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance accepting the proposal from Radiocom Co. for 3 L3 Harris XL 200M mobile radios and amend the 2024 budget. Wessels,
Aye.
Patke,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Reed,
Yes.
Heidrich.
Aye.
By your vote, 7G passes.
One thing I did forget to mention earlier, council, the fire department and police department do share radios, so we have spare stock and spare parts, so we are coordinating that. So we have parts and pieces we share amongst so that they fail from time to time, so we keep everything running. So thank you for the approval.
Thank you, Tim. 7H, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the City of Washington, Missouri to accept the quote from MTI Distributing for the purchase of a Field Pro 6040 groomer.
Patke?
Introduced by Patke.
Evening, council again. Yes, in your packet is a recommendation for a Field Pro 640 ball field groomer, which will allow us to drag our fields and also some of the other grass fields when we aerate them, the rake on the back, we use to drag the sand into the divot holes and everything. Came in under budget. We'll be trading in our 20-year-old model to purchase this one. And we avoided a 2 to 3% price increase, which was going to go into effect on November 1st. They're holding the price for us. So.
Further questions? Go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the City of Washington, Missouri to accept the quote from MTR Distributing for the purchase of a Field Pro 6040 groomer. Wessels,
Aye.
Patke,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Reed,
Yes.
Heidrich.
Aye.
By your vote, 7H passes. Did we already table 7I, or do we need to vote on that again?
We already tabled it.
That's what I thought. Okay, great. J then, please.
An ordinance providing for the approval and acceptance of minimum improvements for maintenance for Highland Meadows Plat 7 in the City of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri.
Holtmeyer.
Introduced by Holtmeyer.
So this is off High Street. This is Sophia Drive connection and Greta Court that comes off of that. And then the one change from like typical code here is we allowed a smaller cul-de-sac turnaround there because it's less than 150 feet, so a fire truck can back out of there. But there is going to be no parking in that turnaround area there. So we're accepting the minimum improvements for all this.
How long is that how long is that street?
How long is it?
Yeah.
The Greta Court, the court there? Like 130, I think.
Well, not very long.
No.
Okay.
Further questions, guys? Okay, go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance providing for the approval and acceptance of minimum improvements for maintenance for Highland Meadows Plat 7 in the City of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri. Wessels,
Aye.
Patke,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Reed,
Yes.
Heidrich.
Aye.
By your vote, 7J passes. K, please.
An ordinance providing for the approval and acceptance of minimum improvements for maintenance for the villas at High Street Plat 1 in the City of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri.
Patke?
Introduced by Patke.
So this is accepting the minimum improvements for Walter Way, which is north of Sophia off High Street. This is a 30-foot wide street, so there's no parking on the south side. And then they do have an island that was unpaved in the middle of the turnaround there, so there's going to be no parking around that circle. And then the plat, we're having them revise the final plat to say that there's going to be, the subdivision is responsible for the maintenance of that island in the middle, so.
Also, I believe the council approved the no parking on one side at the last meeting.
At the last council meeting, yeah.
Discussion? Okay, go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance providing for the approval and acceptance of minimum improvements for maintenance for the Villas at High Street, Plat 1, in the city of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri. Wessels?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Reed?
Yes.
Heidrich?
Aye.
By your vote, 7K passes. 8, please.
Commission, committee, and board reports. An ordinance approving the final plat of Highland Meadows, Plat 7, in the city of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri.
Patke?
Introduced by Patke.
All right, your next two items are in conjunction with the previous two ordinances. Since the minimum improvements are complete and now have been accepted, and there's no need for any performance bond, we can now do a final plat on both of these. So the first one is for Plat 7, as we discussed here, for Sophia Drive and Greta, and this gives the developer permission to start getting building permits for those homes.
Questions from Sal, guys, or for Sal? Okay, go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance approving the final plat of Highland Meadows, Plat 7, in the city of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri. Wessels?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Reed?
Yes.
Heidrich?
Aye.
By your vote, 8A passes. B, please.
An ordinance approving the amendment to the final plat of the Villas at High Street, Plat 1, in the city of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri.
Patke?
Introduced by Patke.
All right, and this one is just an amendment, because we already did a final plat once, or a final development plan. There was an easement missing to the north here, and then as we discussed with the island, now this mentions maintenance of that island on this amended plat.
Further discussion? Go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance approving the amendment to the final plat of the Villas at High Street, Plat 1, in the city of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri. Wessels?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Reed? Heidrich?
Aye.
By your vote, 8B passes. 8C, please.
An ordinance approving the final development plan of the Bluffs at Pesora Place in the city of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri.
Holtmeyer.
Introduced by Holtmeyer.
All right, good evening. Actually, let me skip ahead here. So this is the final development plan approval for the Bluffs of Pesora Place, which is the equivalent to a final plat for a PDR. So about 10, 11 months ago, you all approved the ordinance for the rezoning and the resolution for the preliminary development plan. That gives the developer permission to start submitting infrastructure improvements, grading permits. As you've seen, there's been some grading already happening out there. That's all per the plans they've submitted to engineering. And then they have 2 years to come in and submit the final development plan and for the plat. And the requirement for that is to have everything submitted that was on the previous plan, as well as landscape details. So this submittal does meet the final development plan checklist requirements. And actually, this has not changed. Even the landscaping hasn't changed since what they submitted last year. And so you can see here, same plan as before, and then here's the plat that actually shows how they will be subdivided. So we recommend approval, and this also gives them permission to start getting building permits.
Questions or discussions, guys?
Very nice development.
Yeah, it is. Okay, let's vote. Go ahead, Sherry.
An ordinance approving the final development plan of the Bluffs at Pesora Place in the city of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri. Wessels?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Reed?
Yes.
Heidrich?
Aye.
By your vote, 8C passes.
Mayor's report.
Last week was another good week for our kids hitting a round ball with a bat. Our girls from Washington High, they won the state championship, and our girls from Borgia got hot at the last of the season, and unfortunately, they just fell short in the final. But congratulations to both schools. So,
City Administrator's Report.
One item I do have on here, at the Administrators Conference that I attended earlier in October, of course, as you can imagine, there's lots of vendors there trying to sell you various things or whatever, and I usually shy away from them. But this one was kind of intriguing, and so I brought it back, and we had a presentation to both the mayor, Sherry, Sal, and myself, but it has to do with communications with the general public. Right now, if you have any type of information that that the city needs to get out, we typically go ahead and put it on Facebook. We do have a lot of followers that way. You have a lot of departments that have their own Facebook page as well that gets information out. That's not the only way we do it, though. We also have, as you know, Code Red that we pay, I believe, $17,000, if Jennifer's still here, but that's what they told me, $17,000 a year, I think, for that software. That allows us to pinpoint geographic areas if we need to. If you would, have a water main break or something like that you need to go ahead and get out. But other than that, that's basically it of how we have to go ahead and reach the general public. And so one of the programs, or one of the products that was pitched to us was an app that can be used, or whatever our citizens can go ahead and download. And with that, then you can send out to multiple social media platforms. I mean, all of the Instagram, Facebook, X, if they're former Twitter, as well as direct emails or, I believe, texts as well. So with that, they gave us a presentation of how they could go ahead and do that. We've had 2 follow-up meetings with them. We feel that it's probably something worthwhile for the city to go ahead and consider. I would like to bring a contract with that for you. It is the 2 costs associated. You have an annual cost, and that's based upon so much per residence, and it's $8,450 annually. But you have a one-time setup, which is $15,000. If we signed an agreement and we weren't bound to, the council wasn't bound to go ahead and accept it, and if you would not accept it at the second meeting in November, then that's fine, there's no money lost. But if by me signing it, we did save $2,500 off of the $15,000 that they want to charge you for the one-time setup fee. But again, what this would do is it would be an app that our citizens could go ahead and download, and they could go ahead and get direct communication about anything and everything, from updates on picking up leaves to the only limitation that I saw is that you cannot be geographic specific, like I said. So if you had a water main break or something, we would still put it out there, but you would still follow up with the Code Red to let those folks in the immediate area that it was being proposed. I think it's probably a worthwhile thing to get better communication all the time with our citizenry. And as far as other ones that we've looked at, this is probably the cheapest, most effective. I called around to a couple of cities in Missouri that are using it right now. They seem to be very happy with it. So we would like for you to consider that at the next council meeting. I know that's fast, but it came up in October, and they had that savings of $2,500 for us, and so that's the reason why I wanted to bring it to your attention pretty quick. So if I get a lot of nodding heads, I'll have an ordinance for a contract for something for that at the next meeting.
How much was the total again?
The one-time setup fee will be $12,500. And then the annual fee is based on so much, I think it's 10 cents a resident or something. It was $8,450. That's the annual maintenance. And you do a 1-year contract, so just year to year. So you can go ahead and do it. So I would propose to pay for it out of your ARPA funds. You could use those funds easily to go ahead and do that. Maybe not necessarily for the ongoing maintenance, but at least the one-time setup fee.
Seems like a little bit of a money we weren't expecting, but it's also very worthwhile in today's world. That's how you keep communicating, transparency, all that kind of stuff, whether it's
Exactly.
emergency or whatever.
And what we also like, it gets a unified message out there too, so department heads can go ahead, put what they want to go ahead and put out to all those different platforms. We would have somebody else be checking those and make sure that, sometimes people do things fast and grammar may not be, the best or whatever, et cetera, but you get a chance to clean that up and edit it or review it if you need to before it gets sent out.
Communication is a beautiful thing.
Yes. So, all right, thank you. That's all I had.
Council comments?
Yes. Two things, and I'm glad Charles is still here. I've heard a number of complaints, and Charles has helped out with at least one of those, and I'm talking about Gateway, digging up sections of people's yards and so forth, and letting it stay that way for some time. And I had one person very upset, and I gave him to Charles, and I was very pleased that he was able to get back to him so quickly and give him some sort of response. But since that time, not looking for it, but I keep hearing more from others. And apparently, it's the same story in every case, that they come in and they will dig and leave a rather large hole, or 2 or 3, and if you're on a corner lot, you're lucky and you'll get 5 or 6 such holes in your yard with the orange tubes sticking up, and then they leave them for some time, maybe too long, I think. So at any rate, I think we need to do some sort of a follow-up. I'm not exactly sure what the answer is. I'm sure it's a responsibility, though, of Gateway to make sure that their subs are taking care of these things.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but in some cases, I think some of our citizens are saying they're not doing it in a very timely fashion.
Is this all over, or is this all in one subdivision?
No, I've heard from 3 in the last week, and they were all 3 different areas.
Okay, well, that helps too, so it's not just one subcontractor for
Right,
Gateway
exactly.
either. It's
You had
across
mentioned
the
that
board.
they got rid of the one subcontractor that was a problem.
Right, they're having
But the other 2 I've heard from are from 2 totally different areas. And one of them, it's not even Ward 2, but a friend of mine across town who is running into some same issues. So, yeah, we need to do something to keep up with those, okay? I appreciate your.
No, I've definitely mentioned to them about keeping up with their restoration and the backfilling and those things, but it's been a little while, so sounds like we need to rein that in.
Right. Okay.
You said that we do have, I was talking with Charles for the meeting, though, we do have bond, I mean, they did provide a bond to the city,
Yep,
correct?
yep.
Is that, and I just need to check with Mark, that's just for any restoration that's in city right away, or that's private as well?
Well,
I was gonna say, because how would we do that for,
my guess is the lines that they're putting in are in our right of way.
They're supposed to
Right.
be in the right of way.
Behind the curb.
Right.
But they're in our right of way.
that's what I am assuming as
That's
well.
supposed to cover restoration of the right of way or
Right.
any public easement.
There we go.
So that deposit or whatever it is that they put up, we could use that to go back.
That's what I wanted to let you know what the leverage was after you asked.
Because they're tearing curbs up. I mean, I showed John when he was here. There was curbs tore up and everything else and just left. Nobody checks behind them.
I will say it is hard to have someone dedicated to checking Gateway, we have one inspector really, and lots of projects going on, so we kind of rely on the citizens calling in and telling us about these things. So as much as, you guys are getting a lot of complaints, it's good to hear on my end, because then I know where to follow up and what these issues are. So I appreciate you guys passing those along. For
I've
sure.
gotten a few also, not direct phone calls, but it's just even talk on the street. It's just
Yeah.
a shame it's like this. It's
Well, there's a lot of moving parts here, that we don't realize, that, they gotta make a lot of connections yet with those pieces of pipe that are sticking up out of the ground. I mean, it just doesn't happen overnight, so a lot of those holes are gonna remain open for a while.
Maybe they can
Just the
stop-
way it is.
Maybe they should stop digging and catch up with their
Yeah.
boxes.
Maybe.
Just a thought.
And I have one other thing. Sherry's going to have to help download these apps that you're adding to.
Oh, we'll do it for you, Mark, don't worry about it.
I don't think your flip phone will take it.
There's
Another duty that
There is a certain level of mobile phone that you have to go ahead, probably.
Before
operate.
Fred Flintstone.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll work on a track phone, that's all. I'll have to check into that on the contract.
She's good, she can do it.
In the previous meeting, I mentioned thanks to the water department for working ahead of the street repairs. So again, thanks and kudos to those guys. Also, Wayne and Chad are in the audience. We made the move, the dirt from behind the motorsports arena up to the midway. I know the chamber, has paid for that, but city guys worked alongside and in a timely manner, got it done. I made sure Chad was doing what he's supposed to do, so I checked on him a couple days. But, yeah, it should have been done, as soon as possible. But again, seeded, strawed, done. Hopefully we're getting some green grass growing there and we got a good thing. So again, kudos to those guys for doing it in a timely manner, keeping the parks, looking as good as possible. And just to mention, while I was there a few of those days, those pickleball courts are going to get worn out.
Yeah, I know.
There's no less than 20 people, 30 people there every single day playing in a pickleball court. So again, it's worked out. It worked as a building for the fair through the chamber, but someone's there playing pickleball, especially now we have nice weather again. It's good. So again, thanks to all the department heads. I know a lot of times Wessels like to throw rocks at you, but I'll tell you, good job. So,
You sure that's not the opposite? No.
Anyone else? Okay, just need a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Wessel, second by Hobart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.